What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic reviews. And in this video, we're talking about Nightwing issue number 122. This one is written by Dan Watters, artwork by Dexter Soy, and this is part 4, I believe, of this current story arc since the new creative team has taken over. And I'm liking it. I'm actually liking it quite a bit. It definitely feels a little bit fresh for like the Nightwing book after what we had to read for Tom Taylor for quite a while. Totally very different. You feel the stakes a lot more. You don't have to rely so much on other Titans members or whatnot just coming in to kind of help save the day. This really feels like Dick Grayson's kind of more so on his own. I mean, he has Oracle on there, but even some of his other allies, like his half-sister, Melinda, Zuko Grayson, whatever you want to call her, is even kind of a little bit at odds with him too, because she needed kind of funding for a campaign, but she's also kind of working with Spheric Industries, but she's also trying to be the mayor, and there's a little bit of like angsty tension between the two of them. And you also have the armed Blüdhaven police force, who was armed by Spheric Industries. The CEO, Olivia Pierce was her name. Yes. So she's responsible for all this stuff. We know this. We've seen kind of a lot of the stuff that she's been doing. But Nightwing also mentions that he's known her from the past. And we get a little bit of a flashback with this whole like Cirque du Sin sort of thing. We have a Young Adventures of Batman and Robin. By the way, Dexter Soy's artwork, fantastic. Really love what he's doing with the title. We see that Olivia Pierce is clearly this character known as Columbina, kind of part of this demented circus gang. And she's been kind of working with somebody else who we do kind of see like is kind of mysterious and like in the shadows. Now, this is a Dan Watters book, and I was like, even as it was kind of beginning, I'm like, you know, like you always kind of expect kind of the weird stuff to kind of pop in at some point, and this is kind of where we get this weird character right here. Does he have supernatural abilities? Does he have like some sort of hallucination, like hallucinogenic compound, like infecting Nightwing or Robin, I guess at the time, Dick Grayson, for him to kind of see these things? Or is there something else going on? Because like he kind of is woken up out of this trance by like Batman at one point, and basically they were able to kind of arrest everyone else, but Olivia Pierce kind of escaped and she's off someplace else now, so and kind of clearly in control. So he talks about, okay, so this is this, he's given all his points, but they clearly need more evidence, and Melinda's basically just tells him, hey, you know, we kind of need some more evidence. It's not enough to kind of take these people down. And he's like, sure, because then Spheric might withdraw its support from your re-election campaign. That's not fair, and you know it. So I like the genuine tension between the two of them here. So he goes off to find proof that Spheric is causing a lot of these bombings going on in the city, and he finds one of the gangs is there, and it really is just kind of putting a wrench into the machine. Like, it's just his whole thing, like his whole case is kind of based on, okay, I'm going to catch these people in the act. But then it's one of the gang is doing it, and he's like really frustrated and upset by the whole thing. And you kind of get this nice moment with Babs kind of showing up to be there, and he's just kind of like dwelling on the city. Like, obviously he's a lot angrier this arc after what happened to that kid, and I do like the much needed kind of angst, but it feels kind of natural. Like, a kid died and Nightwing is just really frustrated at the moment. The Titans are out of the city. Like, he's even kind of at the tower. Babs is kind of there, really is his only like true support in this current story arc at the moment, because you know the Titans are off elsewhere because, you know, all the frustrating stuff that's gone on with it, and you know, like, he's got to find ways to kind of adapt to this whole thing. Like, it's going to take some time now that there's been that power vacuum in Blüdhaven. And then, of course, one of the gangs who is about to be kind of killed or is in the process of it tries to reach out to Nightwing to help. So, because he kind of gave him the option to do so when stuff like would go wrong. So really good stuff right now in this current storyline. The tension feels kind of natural. I kind of was waiting, okay, where do we get to kind of the more bizarre stranger stuff? And that's where we kind of get to the circus stuff with this sort of, this villain here is kind of appearing like this, almost kind of reminiscent of like a Mysterio, like from Spider-Man, where he kind of like distorts reality when you see him with all that crazy stuff going on too. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting from this thing. And also, it's also kind of reminding me, it's feeling a little bit similar to Batman Robin by Philip Kennedy Johnson, in that we have like that Memento character, and then we have this character right here, definitely ties to the past, to, you know, the younger like Dick Grayson Robin right here. And then you also have like in, you know, Batman and Robin, you have Memento tied to like the younger Bruce, and we're seeing all these crazy like hallucination stuff right here, but only Dick was able to see him this time around. And we don't exactly know the backstory of this character just yet, but we are seeing him, and he's really kind of messing with Robin's, Dick Grayson's mind in the sequence. So some similarities, but like it was kind of only a matter of time. We kind of got some of the more bizarre stuff within like Dan Water stuff, because if you read some of his other stuff like Arkham City Order of the World, or was it Night Terrors, either the Detective Comics one, and it just got into the really weird and crazy, like it has to seep in at some points, and we kind of get it within this particular issue in this moment right here, but still mostly kind of like grounded in that. It could just be explained as like some sort of crazy hallucination or something like that, but it kind of works its way in different instances too. So I like this thing. I like the way the art's done in the flashbacks. I like some of the crazy looking visuals, and I'm enjoying this thing. There's some tension between him and his sister, but it feels kind of natural. It doesn't really feel like crazy forced in some ways. It doesn't feel like everything's just kind of easy for him to go around, as opposed to what we saw in kind of the previous run of Nightwing. So I'm liking it. Like I said, I like this. You see kind of his inner turmoil, frustration brought to the forefront, and him really trying to think more so on his own how to get out of a situation like this. It feels rather refreshing for Nightwing. And of course, Babs is there as Oracle, and she's there for the support, but it's just kind of like nice to see, Dick Grayson really kind of be challenged a little bit after a while of not really like doing so. Like he never really felt the stakes and anything. Here, it feels a little bit more serious, a little bit grit, some of that angst in there too, and some really gorgeous looking artwork from Dexter Soy. I mean, like I've been a big fan of Dexter Soy for a while. Like I said, I liked his work when he was like doing that Deathstroke Incorporated book and a few other things. I think he did Red Hood and the Outlaws for a little bit too. Just like his style. So I like the way he draws the Bat Family. So good stuff. Flashbacks look good. A little bit of mystery and intrigue going on here with this other kind of overarching villain. A little bit of backstory on the Olivia Pierce character and how she was a circus kind of performer of sorts. So it definitely has like a connection to Nightwing, Dick Grayson in that regards. So we'll see how it all kind of unfolds. I'm interested to see which direction it's going to go in, and what about this other kind of overarching villain who we saw kind of earlier on before he was like a puppet master, like tangling like the strings around everything. So like what's his end goal and all this stuff? Assuming it is a he, it could be like a Mask of the Phantasm thing where we think it's one thing, but it's Andrea Beaumont. So many questions, so many answers that need to be answered, but I'm definitely on board for what they're doing with Nightwing right now. So what did you all think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit that bell for notifications, all other fun stuff. I'll be back again with more comic book stuff after the movies and all sorts of other things coming in like, the coming weeks or so. So look forward to all that. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.